Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the trombone. So, here we go. Same old spiel. Open your case up. Alright, let's get your parts out. Be careful with the slide. Get our mouthpiece out. I'm just going to go ahead and put it right into our soapy water. Okay, so we're all empty. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take care of all of our needs with brushing the case out, making sure everything's good. So, just like what we've been doing. Down there in the bell where it's skinny, use that paintbrush. Okay, compartment, let's go ahead and take care of that. Alright, so we got it all good. Let's go ahead and do our Lysol treatment. So in this particular case, there's the swivels right here for holding the slide in. So this is where they're going to be grabbing a lot, so I made sure to spray that. Same up here on the leather pull right here. These are all, and in the compartment. This is everything that's been around their mouth and their hands right here in the accessories compartment. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rotate it. Again, the handle and the latches where they're grabbing all the time. Alright. Set it off to the side to dry. Alright, so we have a slide to deal with and a body. So let's go ahead and get started pulling things apart. So we're going to take first, and we're going to take our slide out, and we're going to go ahead and put it in here. Since it's small enough, we're going to go ahead and put it in here in the pan with the mouthpiece. The bell section, we'll go ahead and submerge it over here in our bigger tub. The slide, this is a good time to check when you're going ahead and taking the slide apart. This is a good time to go ahead and take the slide apart, check the slide lock. Okay, so we went through 3, 4, 5. We're at 6 with the antibacterial soap. 7, remove the following in the soapy water. Okay, and we're just kind of plugging along here. All right, so we're going to carefully submerge that slide. And then we're going to take our cup and we're going to take some of this soapy water and we're going to do a couple of things while it's sitting here. I'm going to dump some soapy water down the bell to get some of that soapy water in there. I know it's above the water line, but you're going to start getting that antibacterial soap down into the parts. Then after I've done a couple of those, I'm going to hold the slide over. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start filling this slide full of water. And there it is. Both sides came up equally. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set that aside. A little bit's coming out the top. I can take a little bit of it out so it doesn't spill so much. And I'm going to let that set aside with all of that antibacterial soap in it. So let that set. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go ahead and grab my mouthpiece brushes. I'm going to go ahead and get going on this mouthpiece. At this point I can take the toothbrush to get the outer edges and lips and all that kind of good stuff, just a general good scrub. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the rinse water I had from the trumpet over there, the rinse water, the clean rinse water. And then here, alright, so now we're going to go to and grab our trombone snake. A little bit bigger bristle for the bore, and obviously a lot longer. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take our snake, and we're going to go ahead and I'm just working it in halfway, about to where my thumb is right here is where I'm in there scrubbing. All the way out. Go ahead and give it a flip. Get some more water in there. All the way through. Okay, and at this point, if you want to, you can go all the way around until you see it, and just kind of go back and forth. Alright, and there you are. Alright, into it, rinse water it goes. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring the big tub over here now. Carefully. Alright. So like I said, you're going to want a big table, an area to do this, so that you can, when you're done with the parts, you can set them aside. So my main slide is full of water. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start there, and I'm just going to, let me go ahead and bring this out a little bit, so as I'm agitating, I'm dripping into the basin here, and I'm just kind of agitating back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now I'm down in the bend. Now I'm down in the bend. I'm only going halfway into the bend. Okay, now I've done that half. And there's the evidence. Okay, now I flipped it, cleaning our brush off. Now we're going the other distance. A little bit of schmutz there. And we're down in the crook now, and the curve halfway. So here we are. I'm going to work my way back up to where we're going to go ahead and pull that out. And there's our evidence. That was orange when I started. It was orange like this when I started. Okay, so I'm going to dump it. Alright, so now I'm going to take some of that rinse water and I'm going to fill up this, use my cup, fill it up. Okay, now I'm only going to fill it up a little bit. So this is rinse water, clear rinse water. I'm going to cap it with my thumbs and carefully give it a shake to agitate anything that I may have broken loose and may have still stuck to the walls of the slide. I'm going to go ahead and, oh yeah, more chunks came out with it. So if more chunks came out with it, I'm going to do it again. Not all the way full, just a little bit. Maybe about 6 or 8 ounces of water. if that. And you want to rinse it until it comes out clean. That one was clean. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set that aside. Oh, check your spit valve cork. Okay, got ahead of myself. Check your spit valve cork. And we're at about number 12 or so is where we're at, scrubbing all this stuff out on our list. Okay, so now we're going to carefully take the inner slide, and I still have some rinse water here, so let me get rid of that rinse water. Then I'm going to get our soapy water and make sure to get some soapy water down inside. Okay, so you have the connection points. So what I usually do is I'll take the mouthpiece brush and I'll really just kind of go at this really good right here with the mouthpiece brush, because this is where all the connections are made and everything. I'll take the toothbrush and I'll scrub the threads and things like that where all the connections made, and then I'll scrub over here where the mouthpiece joins. So I'll do all that really good with the mouthpiece brush to get in there, and then I'll spend time now with the snake. So we use this side that's still a little bit dirty. Okay, so we'll kind of do a before and after on this one too. So clean orange brush side. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just kind of work it down through and see if I call them Tootsie Rolls. We'll see if we end up with a Tootsie Roll oozing out the end of the slide or not. And all this, oh, yep, there went one. Oh, yep, there they go. They're falling into the water. Yep, chunks, let them fly. So this is a tattletale sign that this slide has not been cleaned in a long, long time. So, yeah, I guess I could be the bad guy and look up the serial number on our Destiny and see who it was checked out to last, pull the card on it, and ask why they didn't clean their trombones up when they turned them in last time. But hopefully we'll get better at it, guys. Okay, so here we are. And let's see if we have a Tootsie Roll this time. What do we got? What do we got? Yeah, we got green stuff. We got green stuff. There we go. There's a little close up for you. Don't gag. That's the stuff that holds all the nasty. Okay. So there we are. We got that all out. Now I got to try to rinse all that out. Okay, so that was soapy water. Yeah, why not? Let's give it a soapy water rinse before. Let's go ahead and do that. Try to get as much antibacterial down in there as we can. Okay. And if any of you have been paying close attention to the bucket on how it's clear, you can see all of the lovely chunks that are floating around in there that once lived in that instrument. Yum, yum, yum. That's what we're trying to get better at for our families and our kids. Brass is the worst. Brass needs a lot of maintenance. Okay, so that was my rinse water. Okay, so I'm going to set that slide aside. Okay, at this point, I really need to pay attention. I need to get these clean, so I'm going to turn to my sink over here. And I'm going to get these babies cleaned out at the sink. I have the luxury of the sink. Okay, So I cleaned one, so here's how you would do it without a sink. So you got all that nastiness in there, so get it in your soapy water, use your toothbrush to brush all that stuff loose and out of the bristles of the brush that you need to send through. So now we're back to orange again. Okay, so that's how you do it without a sink. All right, so now we are at the main body. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to work at it, back and forth, until we get to the end, and we're going to see what we got for Tootsie Roll. And we're going to go slow for the reveal. Not too bad. Also a lot shorter pipe. Okay. And now the bell. The bell should be negligible. Okay. Yep. All right, so now we're going to do a antibacterial down the bell and antibacterial down the back slide of the body. Okay, so there we are, all rinsed. Nope, gotta rinse. That was antibacterial. Here's rinse. Alrighty. Alright, so there we are. Okay. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So, let's talk about this for a second. Good moment. So you've cleaned one instrument, okay? And let's say it's that bad. You are going to need to go dump that water out in the grass somewhere outside your classroom, and you have to go get fresh water. Because after about 2 instruments or whatever, all that stuff's going to just get being, you know, on the instrument, whatever. So your wash water and your rinse waters and stuff, you're going to have to keep cycling them, okay? So don't just keep always cleaning in dirty water, okay? You got the soap in your kit. Just keep making fresh batches as you go, all right? So that was a good point to pause at. All right, let me grab our other pieces out of our rinse water. Mouthpiece and tuning slide. All right, we're going to go to our brass towel, microfiber, and we're going to go ahead and dry everything. Wipe everything down. Again, inspecting the screw as we go. Wiping the screw down, wiping the bell down. This bell just so happens to have some dents in it and a big dent here, so I would note that in my repair form. Getting everything dried up. Okay. I'm going to give the mouthpiece alcohol, let it set and dry. All right, so now we're going to turn to the slide. I'm going to dry everything. Being careful. See, still stuff that's coming off. So, dry. Dry. Okay. Give it just a little gentle shake. You don't want to bend it or get it out of alignment because we are separated here. All right, we finished drying everything, so now we're going to talk about the slide rod. So I'm going to show you how to use your cheesecloth. I'm going to show you a few things that you can go about doing. So you got your cheesecloth, you got your trombone rod. I'm going to feed it through just a little bit so that I can wrap over the end. The reason why we want to wrap over the end really skinny, so we don't want that metal bumping into the crook as we go down inside. So we're going to wrap this, and again, we're keeping it, we got to keep the bulk small so that we don't get caught in the slide. So we're going to wrap, like I said, we're going to wrap through the eyelet and over the top and now down, wrapping our cheesecloth down and through until we get to the eyelet where our hand is going to be. And then we're going to take our scissors and we're going to go ahead and cut that off. Now we have it all ready to go. Okay, next thing is grabbing our Sтерosol, full length of the cheesecloth, Sterosol, and for a little extra kick, because I got the alcohol. So now we'll go ahead and we'll grab the slide and we will go ahead and carefully go in. Okay, so I feel it bumping against the transition, so we'll stop and we'll pull it out, flip it over. See, we're a little dirty still down in there, so that's good that we're doing this secondary. Okay, so here we are. So these rods are going to be coming to the high schoolers right now, and we'll try to get more of them as we can from the suppliers. So there we are, and there's what we get inside. Okay, so now if this gets really, really dirty, here's how you remedy that. I'd go one more with this one before I swap it around. But if it gets real dirty, this is what I'm going to show you how to do it. So you just unwrap it. And you're just going to swap ends. So you're going to feed this one through the eyelet and wrap it just like we did with the other one. Coming on through. Again, you don't want to have a lot of bulk, and you want to get this top covered. There we are. This top covered so that we don't get stuck in the slide. Too much bulk with the cheesecloth. Okay, and again, spray it on down. Okay, so now we're going to go for the outer slide without our hitchhiker here. We have a hitchhiker. A lot of stuff on the table. Okay, so we got our main tuning slide, our hand slide, pardon me, and here we are. And I'm only going until I feel it bump in gently right there. That's why we cover the tip of it. And I'll do one more. Again, we did the antibacterial soap, but you see how nasty it was. So I'm going to do a final with this guy. Okay. So we're going to set all that aside. And then we have this guy. Same thing. We'll go ahead and we'll gently go down and through. Oop, careful. Down and through. All right. I have my microfiber from earlier. again, make sure that you test a small area, as we've been talking about with trumpets and saxophones. Make sure you test a small area before you use alcohol on a lacquered instrument. Get that Q-tip and you can do a little spot hidden behind the brace right here, or something like that. Okay, so we're all dry. We got alcohol in our mouthpiece to dry, so we're basically ready for reassembly. So the same thing as before with our slide grease, tuning slide grease, we're going to put our dots of grease, like I said, in a triangular pattern on the female side, and we'll do the little slide shimmy. Most of the grease comes off the slides when you're doing the soap and water, not all of it. And there we are. All right, we're going to move on to the slide. I'm going to apply a little bit of oil to the slide. I'm going to go ahead and distribute it down a little bit, help it out. Okay, and we're going to get our slide locks and everything all lined up, side to side, and we'll go ahead and put this thing together and get it back. Okay, so as I said, I was going to show you some alternatives. We got everything put back together. Alternatives that you can use other than cheesecloth. So you can definitely use a little bit smaller piece. Like so. But it would have to be a much smaller piece to be able to stay. But it's going to go through, like so. You can use a smaller piece, but you're going to expose the end of the rod to hitting and scratching the inside of the slide, which can cause those scratches and stuff. So you can use this if you absolutely have to. The other thing sometimes I do in a pinch is talk about the alcohol swabs for the first time. Is these little alcohol swab towelettes right here. So you can open them up and you can put them through, and they have 70% alcohol on them. And when you need to do like a quick, you can do real quick in and out of slides. And you can even use this on the trumpet for cleaning the valves. This was another one on the trumpet. Didn't really talk about it much, but it's in your kit that you can swab out your valves with, and you can use the alcohol on that. Okay, so there's a little bit about the alternatives there. Just be careful that you don't scratch the slide. The long cheesecloth method is preferred. Okay, so we have everything finished, and we're ready to go back into our case. Let me double check. So we're down to number 14. We checked everything's rinsed and dry. We reassembled, re-oiled. Number 16, we checked slide lock, all those kind of things. We applied grease. We took the microfiber towel and polished everything off, all those kinds of things. If it's got body dents, which we did note in this one, that we'll make a note on the repair form. Those kinds of things. Okay, so then we'll bring our case back, and it's nice and dry. Again, you can do a little check, but it's nice and dry. We're going to go ahead and get all our pieces back in there. Pop them back in there if they snap in the case, like so. And we're going to go ahead and get our, and we checked our water key and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go ahead and get this guy all back in here tucked away. All right, we'll get him closed up. Oh, our mouthpiece, our compartment. Everything's nice and neat. Again, if you have a repair form, which this one has dents, you'll go ahead and stick it in. Latch it up, and you're pretty much good to go with the trombone. So to wrap up, your valve trombones and your rotary trigger trombones, so just a brief discussion on those. So your valve trombone, you're going to do the valve section just like you did for all the trumpets. You'll go through all those pieces, valves, caps, all that. You'll do everything you would do in a trumpet procedure there. You'll do the slide part of the mechanism just like that. Other than that, when we get to rotary trigger trombones, when I talk about the French horn, you'll take what I talk about with the rotary valves of the French horn and you'll apply it to the rotary trigger on the trombone. So that's just a little final wrap up of this section. Valve trombones apply the trumpet stuff, and when we get to French horns and rotors, you'll apply that section to the rotor of the trombone. Thank you.